Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a limp, and I had some good reception to the Battlesystems video I did assembling the thatch cottage the other day. So I am still in the process of finishing up a few more of these buildings. Figured I'd go ahead and record this because I am going to be filming that other bolt action series with these buildings here soon. So just in case anyone needs it, got some extra videos. And I went ahead and lowered the camera this time a little bit to give a better angle since I was a little high last time. Hopefully it'll make it easier for you guys to see. Now this time we are doing the lake house, which has a selection of sheets with it. Now this isn't one of them. This is a bunch of fences, but you can use these really well with the lake house or a bunch of other stuff. So I just wanted to show you guys, when it comes to the fencing, very, very easy to put together. It's simply one of these fence pieces and then one of these little fence posts, and you get something like that. All you got to do is put it together just like that, and it stands up, and you can link them together as far as you want. You get a bunch of these little fence pieces. So we'll set this out of the way. Now, the lake house, we have a lake. We set down as some extra terrain, a couple of little lake pieces, some rocks, a little sign, just cool little scatter stuff to make the game look that much better on your board, whether or not you need the lake or not. But our two main pieces, or I should say three main pieces, are going to be these. You've got two of these sheets and then this sheet. This is the raised walkways, which will attach to our house here. We're not going to need these just yet, so we'll slide those off camera. You are going to start with these sheets. You've got two of them. They're the exact same. So it's not Lake House 1, Lake House 2. They are the exact same sheet verbatim. So you just have Lake House, two of these sheets. And you're going to use these to put together your four walls. So two walls on each, a little roof. Here's the angle part of the roof. A roof piece, half the floor done at an angle. You guys will see why. And then the raised part, that's where it really comes into play. And a cool little boat that we actually get to assemble, and then our extra little scatter pieces. So just like before, when we've done these, you start with your walls. Now for our assembly here, we're going to need 4 of these elbow clips. We're going to need 4 of these straight clips, and we're going to need 4 of these T-clips. So if you are watching this and putting yours together as you're going along, make sure you pause here and grab those pieces, because you're going to need 4 of each of those during this assembly. So go ahead and pop out your walls. And this wall's a little stuck. Come on out for me. There we go. Just the same. And we'll go ahead and pop the angle part of the roof out, since we're going to be needing that. And we go ahead and put it on. And again, you can go ahead and punch your doors and windows. If you're punching those, I'm not worrying about it, but I am thinking about how the windows are going to come into play. Remember, turn your wall pieces to match however you're setting up your house. This is the outside, so you want to have this pointing inside, and same with your roof pieces as well. All right, so you see, same as before, we've got 2 of each that we're going to be putting up top. This is where our elbow pieces come in, the L-shaped ones. We will put together our 4 walls, just push them together. And someone did make mention during my previous video, and it is something to pay attention to. If you guys look, you can push one in farther than the other. So as an example, let's push this one up to this edge. All right, so you see how there's just a little bit left there. That means I could push this wall in farther. Pay attention to how you're doing that when you're putting these walls together, so you don't end up with a little bit of a trapezoidal type wall system. All right, so we'll throw this wall on, link them up, and they can twist a little bit as you're putting them on, so make sure you're keeping them flat. And since we have door here in the front, we'll put another door here on our back side and get this put on. All right, glass door, matching it up to how I did it in the front, and get our angles put on here, ready to go. And see, we just got our last wall to put on. Make sure we're turning it in the right direction, slot it in each side, and then just push it together, and we are all set when it snugs up. All right, got our little square, we're all set. This is the basis of our lake house. We can go ahead and put our roof pieces on. I'm gonna put them on here. So we'll put a straight piece here, straight piece here, and the same thing. The angle roof goes right here on top, and you push it down until it snugs up. Turn this one around to make sure we've got the outside pointing to the outside, and push her down, snug everything up. All right, so once we hit this point, this is where things start changing up a little bit from the houses that we've done before. We need to go ahead and get our floor and our walkways ready here. Now, like I mentioned before, these floors are a little different. You see, this is like a half floor. So let me grab these two pieces out and show you guys. They can be put together with those extra straight pieces. You can just use one if you want to. I think two is probably better, just to ensure a little bit extra stability. So let's go ahead and put our floor together here. And this is where things really start to change up, because now we have to figure out where our walkways are going to go. All right. So floor set, but you notice the floor has 4 notches in it, right? Center of each wall. This is going to be sitting on here, and you notice that this matches up as well. This is where our T-clips come in, and I know you're going, okay, Gimpy, that doesn't make sense. We didn't use T-clips, we used elbows before. All right, these T-clips are what attaches to these walkway pieces, all right? Because this house is actually going to be raised up just a little bit off the ground. That's where that raised walkway really comes into it. And once you get this assembled, it looks so good. Now, before you put these clips on, you need to decide where your walkway is going to be on your house. So what I'm going to do for this house, I'm going to match the video that Battlesystems did, just in case you watch both. That way they're both, spot on together. We're going to have the walkway coming out in this direction and then shooting down this side of the house. Okay, so because of that, these T-clips need to go on this floor pointed like this. Okay, that way our house is going to come down and sit on this part, and this T-clip is going to catch onto that walkway. So this is going to hold the walkway itself. All right, these two will go here. Let's put this next one on. And same thing, just be mindful of how far you're pushing those clips in. Now these two, they do not go in the same orientation. You still need to have one pointing up to catch the walls, right? But you need to also have one pointing straight down. So instead of coming at it this way, like we did with these, you're going to come at it this way, so you have one pointing straight down. So let's push this on. And this is also to catch the wall and the walkway that's going to be holding up the other piece of the house. All right, so let's flush these clips up, make sure we're on as even as possible. And you can adjust these a little bit later if you need to. It's not a big deal, it's pretty easy. So you see, we're not even right now, all right? So we're not even on purpose. We can go ahead and get our building notched up here though. All you have to do is line those notches up on each T-clip and push it down gently to make sure you don't bend anything. And we should just slide right on there. All right, go on. There we go, perfect. All right, now we're looking good. All right, so bam, just like that, you got your building. we got our floor. And if it's, like I said, not perfectly flushed up a little bit, you can always adjust it, tweak it a little bit later. It's not a big deal. But you notice we're not even, right? That's because of these walkways. Now remember, we're going to have a walkway here at the front, walkway at the back. So let me punch out our walkways. Let me grab my sheet over here. With this walkway sheet, we have multiple walkways that we can attach. And then these pieces down here are used with it. So let's grab the pieces that we need to do a walkway, and I'll show you guys how that works. Just grab one out, and you guys can see you can even punch little holes out of these things to make it look that much better, you know, cooler. I like that. All right, so we'll grab one of these. We're going to need one of these. All right. And there's stairs here. It looks kind of similar. Make sure you don't punch those out because we don't need those. And we're going to need 3 of these. They're called stilts. Let's set that out of the way. All right, come on. Pop out for Uncle Gimpy. Here we go. All right. We'll set these out of the way just for a sec. All right, and bear with me as I speed up for a second. I'm going to punch these little white portions out. See what we've got laid out here. One of our stilts, 3 clips, essentially, is what these service their purpose as, and then one of the walkways. And a little piece of here. Now, an easy way to tell you're putting this thing on the right way is the fact that it's the same height as this, okay? You see what I'm doing there? It shows that this is the correct height because this is going to be attaching on this side. Now, when we're looking at this, you see there's a notch, right, on the walkway. Not this. This is just a little decorative notch out of the wood, right? And then there's 3 slots where these clips go into. This notch goes into this T-clip. Since we want our walkway going out in this direction, all right, so this side of the house and on, then we need to turn this to hit the right way. So we're going to flip it over, and it's going to go on like this. All right, you guys see? Bam, just like that. Before we, actually, yeah, let me pull that out. We'll do these clips first. Okay, so as we were looking at this, like I said, you've got your 3 notches, but you also have notches on this piece, all right? This piece has a notch here and then 2 here. It's not 3, just 2 on each end on the bottom where the clips go into, and then 1 that lines up there. So you want to make sure you line that up all together. So we're going to be wanting to put this on like so. Now you can take and do this like this. All right, I can get her on. Boom, just like that. And just like this on the other side. A couple of clips, and by doing so, that gives us a little base. All right, so this is what our walkway is sitting on. But you see how this can go in? That's what these notches are for right here, okay? So these notches are going to slide in into our little stands. Make sure you do this carefully, not to bend them. Get them started, and then just slide it on in to give us a nice even walkway. All right, and we have one more piece left. It doesn't have a piece to connect to on this side, so we're just going to slot it in here. All right, and you see, that's a nice firm piece right there. And then to connect it, all we have to do is push this in there. All right, but our building still isn't really secure yet. We've got a walkway in, but we still need to build another one for this side and these other pieces. The sheets here, they have extra of these little stilts. I think that's what they're called. Yep, stilts. And those are the ones that hit on those other T-clips. All right, so let's grab off both of those really quickly to show you guys where they're going to go. on the backside, and it'll give our building just a little bit more support as we're putting those extra pieces on that next walkway. All right, so we got one. We'll pop this one off. And it is a good idea to go back through because like this little piece I missed the first time. A lot of them have little notches like that that are so small that they don't have a little white section. So these, remember I told you there are T-clips on the back, right? And on the side, this is how you're going to cause the building to stand up on all four sides. Just like that. We slide these on and bam, our building's already sturdy with a nice firm walkway, and we simply have to assemble our other walkway to go along there. So let's grab out the pieces for that one and put it together. We got another walkway here, and grab out another one of these and another 3 of these clips, and you'll notice there's another walkway and another 3 clips, and now there's stilt and some stairs left. I'll show you where those go here in just a sec. So let's punch out these. Just got to do the same thing we did before. We got to make sure we turn this in the correct direction. We've got a notch there. We've got a notch here in our building, so we know this is going to go on just like that. All right, so this is the angle that we have to have, and we got a little bit of paper sticking on that. And it's all right. Let me grab an X-Acto blade to cut that out. You'll find sometimes that these stick just a little bit. Nothing that a little X-Acto blade going through can't take care of, and it just clears it out nice and simple. And that's just where the die cut, the punch cut comes through. Now we're going to assemble this same way we did our other. So we stand this up, line it up with our notch, and this is to ensure that when this is sitting there, that it doesn't hit that. You see what I'm pointing at there, that T-clip there? It gives a little spot for it to go to. So that's why you got to line up that notch. So pull these on, push it on there without going on it too hard to bend it. You can hear that that's a snug fit, but it should be because it's got a fair amount of weight. You got a whole building that's going to be full of miniatures shooting at each other later on, so you want to make sure it's got a nice sturdy base. All right, and same thing as before. We're going to slot this in here. Make sure we get that just right. Get this one, push them in. Come on. Going just a little bit farther. And that one's catching just a bit, but we got it. All right, just like that. And then our last one, we just push in right here just to give that walkway that extra little bit of support. There we go. Nice snug fits. That way you can put your miniatures on them and you don't have to worry about them popping off. Oop, I was putting it on the decorative notch instead of the correct notch. So slide this on there. And just like that, you guys can see the walkway is done. And I might twist that up a little bit off camera to alleviate. There's just a little bit of a bend there, but it's not that big of a deal. It just involves a little bit of twisting to make sure that you correct for any issues you might have with some of your clips. But tell me that doesn't just look excellent. Gives you a nice walkway out there for your miniatures to walk across. You can put terrain like tables, chairs, beds, all that good stuff in the building. You got your little pieces holding this up. So let me show you what you can do with that other walkway. You're going to assemble it the same way that you did the others, but that's where these stairs are going to come in. So let's grab these pieces out. If I can get them to pop out. Come on. There you go. Last one, our last stilt here. And we're going to go ahead and pop these stairs out too. And these aren't even big stairs. These are just little baby stairs for our little walkway here. You're going to have a couple of these actual stair pieces, and it shows you, it says steps. right there. And this is the same way you would assemble any other steps as well. Like before, let's punch out our middle pieces. All right, and to keep things consistent, we're just going to notch this up the same way that we did our others. Put one on here, put one on here, and turn this way, and get these slotted in here into the right holes, and then just push them in. Don't push too hard with them, because if it doesn't go right away, usually it means you're at the wrong spot. You're coming in at just a bit of an angle, because if you have to push that hard to get it in, you're probably going to tear it up. So don't push too hard. All right, so we do it that way, and then put our last little piece on there. All right, so we got one extra walkway, and what you can do with this is you can put it here, you can put it here, you can put it out over here. It's this one I gotta raise up just a little bit. You can put it out like so. You can pretty much put it wherever you want to put it, wherever you're feeling good with. But let's just say we're gonna put it over here for our purposes. All right, so you see we got a little walkway going out there, and to come down off of it, we got a couple of staircases, right? You see the staircase has a couple of notches in it, and we got a couple of steps. So let's slide that on, slide our next step on. And the steps are ones that I find can get wonky as you're putting them on. So make sure you try to be as even as possible when you're putting these pieces in there, because it's really easy to get them twisted up, especially on larger staircases. A little one like this, it generally tends not to be too bad. So you end up a little staircase like that, and it's got little notches at the end that can slide on just like that. Actually, I think I can get it on a little bit farther, but I don't want to jam it on camera and cause anything to bend, because my luck, I'll bend and break something when I'm doing it on camera. I think I'm hitting something. But right there, we got our little steps. So you can put them on there. You can put them on over on this side if you want to. There's little notches to slide them onto, just like that. And you can have your walkway over here, walking off. Whatever you want to do with it, you can. And I would leave these off. I would go ahead and glue this little staircase here. Probably these as well, just to make sure they stay nice and firm once you get them. Even maybe put a little weight on them to make sure that they're evened out. Once you've got them nice and firm on a flat surface and you're sure they're good, then hit those with the glue. The buildings are up to you. Usually they're really good though, especially with these plastic clips. You tend not need to glue those, but little pieces like this, I like to have them glued. That way I don't have to worry about them coming apart, because you would hate to lose a step or something like that. Neat part with things like this too though, is that these little front parts, you can get it in camera here, where it's open and you can see the cardboard and the paper inside. That's where I tend to hit it with the glue that I use, because it will soak in and it'll secure those little joints, right? It'll secure those little joints. And it tends not to discolor anything, right? It'll just harden it. It might make it just a little touch darker there at the paper, but nothing that's really extremely noticeable. And it holds them very firmly. You can store them however you want. I have a couple of bags, big gallon Ziploc bag size bags, full of just different types of scatter terrain that I use for core space. And they're all pieces like this. I keep them in the bag and I just put them up in my closet. I don't put anything on it. Make sure that no weight hits it. But as long as you take care of it, you know, don't bang it around or anything, they'll be perfectly fine and something like that. And we're done with the exception of the roof. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to put that together for anyone who might not have seen the previous video. where I showed the roof. But if you have seen that, you guys know already how to do the rest of the lake house. For those of you who have not seen a roof, let's grab out our couple of roof pieces. You're going to have a couple that look like this. And if I can get it to pop out, there we go. You're going to have two of these clips. I'm going to punch those out. It says roof clip on it. And then the roof, what they call it, roof ridge, is the piece you want to grab out as well. You'll have a couple of these, which is nice because if you mess up one, you will have a spare. So grab those pieces out from each one, the exception of just a single roof ridge. You don't need more than one. Come on out. Start sticking on me. There we go. And our second roof clip. All right, so for our roof, you're going to have two of these roof clips. Let me slide this back just a little further. You're going to have two of these roof clips and two roof pieces. When it comes to your roof pieces, they can bend. If you guys look very closely, you see the lines going up and down. There's three of them where it's an incision to cause it to fold very easily. I showed you guys this before, but it is not a very significant bend on these buildings. If you guys look, that's all the bend you need. So do not bend these things far. You really don't have to. Give it just like that, just barely even start the bend. Usually just a little half smile, right? That's all you need. You can always fold it further, but you can't take and bring it back if you bend it way too far. So you're going to do that with both of your roof pieces. Give them just that littlest bend. All you got to do is just start it. That much is really enough. Pick one to be your piece that you're going to start with, and you're going to put both roof clips on that. These I have suggested before to make sure and widen them before you start. And again, I said it before, this is my suggestion. This is not Battlesystems' suggestion. They make these tight on purpose to make sure it holds the roof together very well. And I'm not the best when it comes to putting these roof pieces together, but I will say that this is just a little bit too snug and it can cause the roof pieces to catch. But honestly, these don't look too bad. It looks like this one's just a little bit wider than this one. So I think I'm going to actually widen this left one just a little bit. How I do it is I just take my little pocket knife and stick it down in there just a little bit. Just a little pressure just to unsnug it that little bit, right? That's pretty much all you need. You don't even need to take anything off, just widen it a little bit. If you do have to shave it, use a little bit of an X-Acto blade, come in and just shave just a little bit there at the edges. Generally speaking, if you widen the front of it just a little bit, it's usually enough to get the clip started. And once it's started, you're usually good to go. Grab your clips, come at it, and you want to put them both on a single roof piece. Yeah, you can feel this one is definitely looser. Okay, you want to get about halfway on the roof piece, and we'll grab our other one. Get her started. Yep, and I can feel this one is just a little bit more snug than that front piece. All right, and then you want to look at it, see if you're roughly even on those, and that is about even. Once you have it on your two roof pieces, your two roof clips, you want to try to be careful as you're putting your next one on, same way as you did your first. Try to hold the clip top or bottom as you're applying pressure, and apply pressure evenly to keep from causing anything to bend. So line those up, find your starter points, and then just side to side as you get them to go in. Don't be afraid to pull it out and start over if you mess up a little bit. All right, and go back and forth with your roof pieces if you need to get them set up, just like that. Now you notice with these roof clips, let me get it zoomed in, there's a notch up there as well. That's where our ridge piece comes into play. That's why they have these two little notches there to go here. And these are the ones that I find are the stickiest ones of all of the connections that Core Space Battlesystems has come up with. These are the hardest that I've had a time with getting lined up right, getting them snugged in correctly. I don't know why. These just are pain in the ass. So let's see if I can get this on there when I'm doing it on camera. Yeah, you see that's causing it to bend a little bit as I'm getting it on there, and you just want to go easy. Push the roofs back in. There we go. There we go. And see, yeah, perfect. And just come down a little further, and that's it. I don't want to keep pushing it because I'll keep adjusting it, but it's there to kind of eliminate that seam. All right, so you see how that looks a little bit better. Make sure we got a right bend, and let's bring our building back up into camera, and then we just set our roof down on it. Just like that, we have a nice little lake house set up. You guys see my bend is not quite enough just yet. Like I said, I can always come back through and add just a little bit more bend. I can see where I need more of a bend, more in the center versus there at the top, you know, just depending on where it needs it. But you can't go back and unbend something. So keep that in mind. But damn, tell me that this does not look good. That is just a gorgeous piece there. And it didn't take me long to put together. That's what I love about their stuff, right? Let's back this up, and I'm going to put some of those other pieces with it. Let's slide this out there. We'll just tuck that right there. We'll put our little staircase right here. All right, get on there, you little punk. Slide on. All right, we'll leave that there for now. All right, that's what I'm saying. It didn't take me long at all. What is this, half an hour? And I'm explaining it as I'm going, doing it very slow. And now I have a piece of terrain that's good for 22 to 32 mil level games. Any skirmish level game that I'm playing, anything from like World War II level to fantasy to Dungeons & Dragons, whatever you're doing, bam. You can have a tabletop full of terrain in a few hours, right? That's my biggest love of this stuff. Now, yes, obviously it is not as sturdy as plastic. It's not going to be, but if you take care of it, you treat it well, it will last you as long as you need it to last you. You could even coat some of the pieces with this type of glue. I love this stuff. It really works well. It holds these pieces really well, and you don't have to worry about it. I mean, as long as you don't let your kids use it as a dollhouse. I have 3 daughters, and that's what they want to treat this stuff as. Usually you're good to go. And then we've got our little lake piece here, and this has a little notch, and I'm not sure what this notch is for unless something else notches into it. I'm not 100% because they've got this little piece that notches out of the lake, and I don't know why. But you can have your little lake house and a little bit of a lake there. Like I said, they've got some boats you can put together, little paddles, stuff like that. Barrels. If you guys do want to see a video showing boats, paddles, bookcases, crates, basically all your scatter type terrain, if someone would like to see that, put it down in the comments. Let me know if there is a desire for that video. I'll save up all the scatter terrain. I've actually got a bunch of it ready to go, and I can show you guys how to put together some of those pieces to make it a little bit easier on you. But God, I love these pieces. They just look so good. Look at that. That's as I've been putting it together, and I've already got a little village just sitting on my table, ready for the Marines to come storming in and take out those evil Japanese as they're bonsaiing across the village. It's going to look freaking phenomenal. I love this stuff. It is just so cool to have a tabletop full of terrain that's taken me a few evenings where I've dedicated an hour or half an hour to sit there and just put pieces together. It does not take long to put together one of these boxes. And just to make sure I say it, because I did have someone who tried to accuse me of being a shill once, and that really pissed me the hell off. No one sent me anything. I bought all of this crap, all right? Everything that I have from Battlesystems, I bought it myself. They didn't send me anything. They haven't done anything. They don't even know my name. All right, so any of my opinions are my opinions. It's nothing like I've been bought off or any of that crap. All right, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comments below. And like I said, if you want a dedicated video to the scatter terrain, there is one up. Battlesystems does have one concerning, I think it is this set, showing how to do the scatter terrain. But if you guys want to see me do it, let me know, and I'll be happy to put that video together for you guys. All right, that's going to be it for this one. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next one.